Hey guys, my name is Rob Noire and welcome to part 4 of my Ring Fitness Adventure Challenge for Nintendo Switch. So if you haven't seen parts 1 through 3, I will suggest that you click on the I, which will be appearing here. It'll bring you to the full playlist where you can catch up to date on where I am with this game and what's going on. But if you're just jumping in here, that's fine. I've been playing this game now for a full 90 days every single day for 1 hour plus a day and tracking my progress, tracking my weight loss gains and like my fitness improvements. And now this video is going to be covering day 91 to day 120. So much longer than I ever intended to play this game for, but I have been having fun and it has been working, so can't really complain, all things considered. So at the very beginning of month 1, on day 1, I was at 216.4 pounds. And as of the morning of today, as of day 91, I'm currently at 179.4. That's a total weight loss of 37 pounds in the last 90 days, which to me feels pretty significant. It's worth noting that this has obviously been sped along a lot by eating healthy, and before doing this challenge I was not eating healthy at all. And of course several other factors like my life outside of here does include some activity, some exercise. I'm not just sitting in an office all day, I am moving around and doing stuff, but I was still at 216.4 before including this game into my life. And so starting from 179.4, we're going to see where I can get to in another 30 days, making this a total of 120 days. Now, of course, before we start this, I gotta lay out some ground rules just like in all the other videos. First off, I will not be doing a crazy diet or a crash diet, but I will be eating as healthy as I can to kind of help things along. And also, you know, it's good for you, and there are tasty, healthy foods out there. I'll also be recording myself playing the game, tracking my weight every single day so we can measure the weight loss day by day, week by week, and at the end of this, of course. And another thing that's of course important to note is that weight loss does not necessarily equal fitness, so even if you don't lose a lot of weight, you might be getting into a lot better shape. Muscle has weight as well to it, all that kind of thing, but of course I am hoping to lose a lot of weight. And with that in mind, I do of course have a goal to reach at the end of this 30 days, and that goal will be 168 pounds. Now, I do feel like I'm reaching a little bit higher than I should be on this month, but to be honest, it's been going really well and really smoothly, and I'm curious to see how far I can push myself, you know? That would be a weight loss of 11.4 pounds, which has been more or less where I've been ending up after every 30 days, but considering how much it's been slowing down, I don't know if that's going to hold true here. But there is a reason for this number, and it's kind of significant to me. So 4 to 5 years ago was the best shape I have ever been in my entire life. And it's around actually when I was starting this YouTube channel, maybe a little bit into it. And this was the best shape I've ever been in my life, the least I have ever weighed. And during this time, I weighed between 172 and 168 pounds. Hence why 168 would be my end goal here. When I actually started this challenge on day 1, my end goal, my final goal was to reach 168 pounds, to get back into the best shape I had ever been in my life. To be fair though, when I was in that shape, I mostly got there from dieting. I did do some exercise, but it was really like, it was more the dieting than anything else, and I was not like muscular, I was not in that good shape. To be fair, in terms of just being in the best shape, I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been right now because of the previous months of Ring Fitness, but not the lowest weight. It's worth noting that 4 to 5 years ago, when I was at that 172 to 168, I could not get lower than it. If I dieted super hard for like weeks, I could get down to about 164 pounds, but the moment I started eating normally again, because I can only keep that up for so long, and to be honest, it was not super healthy, I would jump back up to 168 to 172, so I could never get below that. This month, I'm not going to try and get below that, I just want to equal it, and then maybe from there, we'll see. Yeah guys, that's my goal, 168 pounds on the dot. Can we make it? I don't know, I'm super hopeful. I'm going into this as positive as I can, and I also know that if I don't quite make it there, as long as I stick to this program and commit to it, I will eventually reach there. So I'm not going to be like upset or anything if we don't make it, but it's always nice to end these videos on like a high note, you know what I mean? So we're going to try as best we can. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all the lead up I can really do here. Again, if you haven't seen the previous videos, you might want to get caught up on those because they'll kind of let you know what you're in for here and kind of show you the journey so far. But regardless guys, let's just jump right into it. Let's do some Ring Fitness.
Alright guys, so I just beat Ring Fit Adventure on the Switch. I just beat the final bonus world, I got the final credits roll. Now everything is done and the game actually says, hey, this is the end. You can keep going if you want to, but it's over. So I just wanted to jump in here and say, hey, we actually have it beaten. That obviously doesn't mean I'm going to be stopping here. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going on the adventure mode for a while to try and make sure that I get all the titles, that I complete the catalog, that I really do 100% the game. So yeah guys, that's about it. I just wanted to jump in here and give you a quick update. So yeah, with that in mind, let's get right back to it.
Alright guys, well it's the morning of day 121, which means it's time to do my daily weigh-in. Now I haven't done it yet today, but judging from where we were at yesterday, I'm feeling pretty hopeful and pretty good about this. So let's go see. Alright guys, well there we go. That's another 30 days down the hatch for a total of 120 days. So, in the end, how'd we do? Pretty damn good, I think. So if you remember from the start of the video, I began at 179.4 pounds, and now, as of today, the morning of day 121, I'm at 168.2. That's a total loss of 11.2 pounds. And I gotta say, that was a lot of work. Damn, it feels good. But oh my god, that was so much work. So I have mentioned the concept of a plateau, which is where kind of like you hit a wall in your progress and it's very hard to push through and keep advancing, keep losing weight, keep getting in better shape. And I hit that a lot during the 90-day challenge. And so in this 120-day, it really felt like I was just pressed up against the brick wall, really trying to make things happen. And I'm really, really proud and really glad that in the end I prevailed. But that was the toughest month yet in terms of actual weight loss. In terms of the exercise, it was probably the most fun I've had while playing this game, and also the easiest. Like, I've really hit my stride. I'm used to like the amount of work, the amount of stress on my body, everything else. Like, for me, it's really just routine at this point. Like, I still do push myself. I do still sometimes get a little bit sore, but like I'm so used to it now that it doesn't really faze me. So that was a new thing in this month. But in terms of like actual weight loss, damn, that was tough, guys. So that means that this month I lost 11.2 pounds total. So I'm still averaging more than 10 pounds a month lost, but I can tell you right now that's about to stop. Like, that was very tough. During the last 10 days to a week there, I was really doing like the max workout that I possibly could a day. I was counting calories, trying to be precise and exact, and that's kind of why I made it to the goal. But if I hadn't pushed myself so hard in that regard, I don't think I would have. And that's not something I can keep up long term. So if we do continue this for another month, I'm probably going to try and set a goal that's maybe a little bit more realistic. So that's a total weight loss of 48.2 pounds in about 4 months. I'm very impressed with myself. Like, that's really awesome. And it shows that this game is a viable exercise method. You have to commit to it. You really have to push yourself and try hard. But if you do, you will see results, just like I have. So, as you might have seen in the montage, I did beat the game during this challenge, like completely beaten, everything story-wise done. Hey, so I just want to jump in real quick here with a little spoiler alert, because I am about to discuss the very, very end end of the game. And if you want to go in completely blind, completely fresh, I recommend you jump to this time right here that I'm showing on the screen. Again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, and most of this stuff is stuff I've talked about before, but if you don't want to know anything at all about the very end of the game, I recommend that you skip ahead. Alright guys, the end of the game, well, it was pretty much like all the other ends of the game. Like, there was really not a whole lot new that happened here. You worked your way through the worlds again, although it was a little bit more streamlined this time again, and then you get to the final boss for the third time, you kick his butt, and well, you get the exact same cutscene as you did the other 2 times. Credits roll, game's over, they say thank you for playing, and you just kind of move on with your life. I do think that the ending of this game is a little disappointing. Overall, the plot of Adventure Mode is a little weak. Like, it's definitely not the strong point of this game. The strong point is really the gameplay and the fun that you will have, and like the fact that you can exercise in an RPG and all these cool things. Story, plot-wise, it's definitely a little weak, and I wasn't expecting anything because I had kind of seen how it had been going along, but at least something for fully beating this game would have been nice, and you know, you kind of get nothing for it. That being said though, it was a lot of fun getting there, and I definitely do recommend it. It'll probably take you a long time to work your way through all the levels just like it did me, but still, even at this point, I do prefer Adventure Mode to the Custom Mode or the other modes in the game. That being said though, during this challenge, I did spend a lot more time trying things out in Custom Mode, where you can pick whatever exercises you like. You can actually pick courses and just do the jogging, running parts. It's interesting. I don't think it has as much variety as Adventure Mode, and Custom Mode, I don't really feel like it's actually more efficient than Adventure Mode. The benefit though is that you actually get to fine-tune what exactly it is that you're doing, and this did come in super handy during this challenge. So as I mentioned during the 90-day challenge, I am trying to 100% complete this game. I mean, I've put in so much time, so many hours at this point, I might as well, right? And the final thing that I have left to do in terms of 100% completing this game is the titles. Now you get these special titles that you can display next to your name in-game for kind of unlocking achievements. They're all exercise and exercise move related. For example, do 3,000 overhead presses. And even at this point, 120 days into playing this game, I have not unlocked them all. And this is where Custom Mode kind of really came in handy, because then I could set specific exercises to work towards reaching that numbered goal. For example, hip lifts, which is an exercise that I didn't really use that often during the normal course of play. Well, in Custom Mode, I can set it 20 reps each time, and then actually slowly work my way towards unlocking the final title associated with that. And now, while I did use Custom Mode to knock out some of the other regular attacks in that, it's really been focused on these healing skills, which in general are also not great for burning calories. They're very slow. So I just feel like this is one of the many imbalances and imperfections in the game. Definitely in terms of 100% completing the game, keep in mind that you're really at one point just going to have to hard focus on these, and pretty much Custom Mode is the best way to do it. Now, something that gets asked a lot on these videos actually is about my diet, and that's an absolutely fair question to ask. I know at the beginning of the video I say I don't do a crash diet or anything crazy, but a lot of you want to know the specifics, so while this is kind of a little bit outside of what I would normally put in one of these challenge videos, I figured why don't I just show you what my diet consists of. Something worth bringing up before we even dive into what I'm currently eating is that before doing the Ring Fit Adventure, I did not eat healthy whatsoever. Every week I would have tacos, pizza, chicken fingers, fries, just a bunch of stuff that's really not good for you. On the off days, I'd usually have pasta. Like, my diet was just not a good diet. So it's been a big shift. It's taken a long time, but I'm really happy with my diet now. So let's have a little bit of a look at it. So my breakfast generally consists of a big bowl of cereal. Here I'm showing you 2 that I really like. I also really like frosted mini wheats, especially the brown sugar variety. Sometimes I also make up some scrambled eggs, or recently I've gotten very into hipster toast. It's basically toast with some avocado spread, some spices, some other stuff. It's really good. What I have for lunch varies quite a bit. Oftentimes I'll just have leftovers from the dinner from the night before. Failing that, I also have soup quite often, or recently I've also gotten into these meal replacements over here. I've tried a bunch of these. My personal favorites would be Orgain or Soylent. When it comes to snacks, either in the afternoon or after dinner, I usually go pretty simple. I'm a big fan of fruit. Here I have some frozen strawberries, but I also like pretty much any kind of berries. I also very frequently have granola bars or peanuts like shown here. I'm also a big fan of smoothies. Sometimes I go really simple, like just some peanut butter and almond milk, or sometimes I'll put in a little bit of that Orgain, fresh fruit. You know, I'll mix it up from time to time. I find these make for a really nice healthy snack. And for dinner, I tend to go with a lot of variety, but on a typical week, here's a few things I'll generally have. I'm a big fan of fish, especially salmon, so here I made up a nice plate with some salmon, some spinach, and some quinoa. Again, I always make up a little bit extra so that I can have a little bit for lunch the next day. I also often have a nice salad. Here I have one where I made homemade croutons, mix in a little bit spinach, quinoa, some chicken, some avocado, some cheese, just mix it all up. It's very delicious. As well, I very often have stir fries. Here I just have a very simple one going with some chicken and some frozen veggies, but sometimes I get a little bit more creative, add a lot of different kinds of noodles, that kind of thing. Depends really how I'm feeling. And as I mentioned, being really into tacos, I also love fajitas. So here I'm doing some very simple chicken and bell pepper fajitas. Throw a little bit of quinoa into that as well, and they are perfect. As you can tell, I really enjoy quinoa. And yeah, guys, that's a pretty good look at what my diet mainly consists of. Again, it does vary from week to week. I don't always eat healthy, and not that everything I showed here was super healthy, but I try and include as much variety as I can without, you know, like going towards the processed or the junk food. And another request I've gotten a couple times is asking about my body transformation, what it's been like and what I look like before and after. Now, in the very first challenge video, I showed you that originally I was wearing these white shorts for most of my workout, and they fit very well, and by the end, they no longer fit that well. Well, this is what they look like on me now. And if you want more specifics than that, well, to be honest, I didn't really take a whole lot of pictures of myself before I started this challenge. Like, I was really unhappy with my weight. I didn't like the way I looked, so I had no, like, motivation to take photos. But I did take one, and I'm not super comfortable sharing this photo because it is me shirtless when I was at the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And also, during the 120-day challenge, there was at one point where for one day I dipped below 170 pounds, and that was the first time in like 4 to 5 years. I also took a similar picture because I was really, really happy with the way that I looked. And again, I'm not super comfortable sharing these kind of pictures with you guys because definitely, at least in the first one, I was extremely unhappy with the way I looked, and I don't like the way I looked in that. And even the more recent one, I'm not quite where I want to be, but in the spirit of, you know, body positivity, and hopefully, you know, maybe this can motivate some of you guys as well, I will show them briefly. So bam, bam. That's what I looked like when I started here on the left, and that's what I look like now on the right. Now, this is definitely not the end. I'm not quite where I want to be, but I am closer than I've ever been. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, between 168 and 172 was the lowest weight I've ever been able to get down to. So the fact that I'm now at 168.2 means I'm right at that range. So I'm really excited to see if I can push even harder and get a little bit further. So with that in mind, and you probably saw this coming, I am planning on continuing the challenge for another month. Again, we're still in lockdown, so getting rid of my one source of exercise is not a smart move, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm seeing a lot of results. So I'm not stopping now. I'm not slowing down. I definitely think for the upcoming month, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on custom mode and less on adventures, since I've kind of seen everything there is to see. But again, we'll kind of play that by ear and see how that goes as well. It's been extremely good motivation for me seeing you guys like egging me on down in the comments. Like, it's definitely helped me stay the course, and I'm really, really happy with where we're at now, and I'm really looking forward to where we might be able to go in the next coming months. So yeah, guys, that about wraps it up. If you have any questions or anything you want to ask me about that I didn't cover in the video, definitely leave it down in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing and be notified of when the 150-day challenge video comes out, definitely hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care.